We have designed a fishing rod that is going to absolutely blow your mind. In fact, it could be the most versatile fishing setup that has ever been created. Now stop and imagine a fishing rod you can effectively fish lures with, as small as this all the way up to as big as this. You can float fish with, you can fly fish with, you can feed a fish with, you can boat fish with, you can do pretty much everything you want to do with one single setup, and it all fits inside here. The limited edition adventure fishing rigged and ready collaboration, the X5 Explorer. Now, to give you a bit of backstory, I've been using multifunction compact fishing rods for about 4 or 5 years now, and in that process I've learned pretty much all there is to know about them. Now, I've been putting my own knowledge, experience and thoughts into making this design, as well as Andy, CEO and founder of the world's leading travel rod company, Rigged and Ready, to create something that we think is absolutely fantastic. Now, throughout this video, I'm going to be showing you and telling you exactly how this rod is able to achieve what nobody else's compact fishing rod has ever done before. Now, as well as that, you'll notice we are at a beautiful stretch of river. We're going to be putting this rod to the test, and we are going to try and catch the most elusive, hard-fighting UK fish, the salmon. Now, this setup is sort of based off the extremely popular Rigged and Ready X5 series, and the first thing you'll notice is the case. Solid Cordura carry case comes with it to keep your rod safe. You open this up, you've got your rod down there in the bottom, and then you've got a generous holding space for sort of your reel, your lures, your hooks, your line, whatever you want to keep in there. You can keep everything in one place. Now, you're going to have to bear with me a little, because when a fishing rod can do so much, it is going to take me a little while to explain. But first things first, we'll just talk about the initial construction of the rod, of which all the pieces are in here. Now, there you go, we have the sort of initial framework of the rod in which you build on and you customize from here. So you'll notice there's no tip section, and that's where the magic starts to happen. As standard, this setup comes with 6 different tips inside this tube, and each different tip drastically changes the feel and performance of the rod. So to give this video a bit of structure, I'm going to run through every tip and what you can do using it, and then we're going to do some salmon fishing. So to kick things off, we have this red and clear striped tip, and this is the lightest one with a cast weight of 0 to 8 grams. And when you put that into there, the end section of the rod, it becomes very soft, very sensitive, perfect for loads of really light fishing applications, sort of like LRF spinning with really small spinners, micro jigs, trotting floats on a river, everything where you need a really light cast weight or a really sensitive rod. The next one up is the 2 to 10 gram tip. There's not too much difference between these, but I'd personally use this if you just need a tiny little bit more backbone. Maybe if you're spinning for trout or you're using lures that are maybe 3 or 4 gram, then this would be my go-to. So tip number 3 gives you a rod a cast weight of 5 to 20 grams, again goes in the exact same place. This sort of takes it up a notch. You can do some light pike fishing, some heavier perch fishing, maybe some feeder fishing, maybe some sort of mackerel fishing, that kind of thing. It's a good bit stiffer in this configuration actually, and this is probably the configuration I'll be using to do some spinning for salmon today. Now, tip number 4, this is where things start to get interesting. This is actually a fly tip, you'll be able to see by the shape of the end eye. For this configuration though, we've got some changes to make to the handle, because you'll notice that that is where a spinning reel goes, in that section. What you do is you unscrew this. You take this section out here, which is affectionately known as the butt plug. Then it simply flips over, screws back in the other side. You reattach your butt plug here, and you have a reel seat perfect for a fly reel. So if you're that way inclined, you can give it a bit of this. Not that I personally like to that much, but It's a really nice option to have, sort of particularly if the trout that you're targeting aren't going for spinners that day. You can keep a few flies with you in your pack, a fly reel, and you can swap over, and that has saved me on a couple of occasions. Really good bit of utility to have. As well, some places are fly only, so with one rod you can target them as well as anywhere else you might want to target when you're on your travels. So I've just swapped the handle back round to the spinning setup to show you tip number 5, which you'll notice is considerably shorter than all of the other ones. So this one goes into the very same section and gives the rod a cast weight of 15 to 40 grams. Still quite a good size rod, but again, even stiffer, even more powerful than the one before. And then I would personally use this thing for fishing for pike, stuff like that. Also predator fishing off a boat, maybe where you're having to use a little bit more weight, or even ledgering. I'd even use this setup if I was like fishing at the sea with a float and I didn't have to cast miles out. If I was visiting the coast, that would definitely do the job for that. So tip number 6, the final tip, this will make your rod really strong and give you a cast weight of 30 to 80 grams. So to use this, you have to actually take this second to last section out, and then it goes directly into there, and this really does transform your rod into something much shorter but also much stronger. Now personally, I'd use this for lure fishing for pike. Maybe if you're somewhere like a big still water, it won't be long enough, but if you're fishing with heavy lures on the canal or smaller rivers, anywhere where you don't have to cast too far, this really is going to do the trick for you. And because of its length and its strength, you could also use this for light boat fishing like mackerel feathering, trolling lures behind a kayak, because it is very sort of compact and easy to deal with. Definitely adds an extra element of versatility to an already incredibly versatile fishing setup. Now there is one more final thing you can do with the rod, and that is using this extension section here, so you can make this handle even longer. So what you've got to do to access this is unscrew your butt plug, and then you put this in here. And this doesn't need a butt plug on the end of it, because there may also in future be scope to add another section onto the bottom to make it even longer. So what you can do with this is you can use it in situations where you might need a bit more oomph to cast further, or situations maybe if you're at like a coarse lake and you wanted to fish it kind of like a pole. Even if you wanted to have a go at two-hand fly fishing, you could get your fly reel here. It just adds that extra thing of like, there may well be a situation where I might need to use this, and you'll be glad you have it if that situation comes up. Right, just getting my reel on for a bit of fishing. The setup doesn't actually come with a reel, but it's made to hold anywhere between a 1000 and a 3000 is optimal. Let's see if we can catch some fish. Right, it's finally time to catch a salmon, or at least try. I have to say, it's so cool and so exciting to have my own branded fishing rod, especially with the Adventure Fishing logo on it. It's an absolute honour to be doing this project alongside Rigged and Ready as well, and this rod also comes with their industry-leading 2-year guarantee. Now they're the only fishing company in the world to offer a guarantee this good, which means that you are covered for 2 years. Even if you break a rod and it's completely your fault, we'll still fix it for you. That's a testament to the quality of these rods and how confident we are that you're going to absolutely love it. Now if you wanted to pick one of these rods up, there'll be a link in the description below. You can get them from my website www.adventurefishinguk.com for an introductory price of just £99.99. That includes the case, all the tips, all the accessories, and the 2-year guarantee. That's free postage too, and I do want to say that there's only been just over 100 of these made, and it is going to be first come, first serve. Not sure when or even if there's going to be a restock, so if you want to get your hands on one, don't hang around. Oh, I really hope we catch a salmon today. Wouldn't that be special? My hopes are high too, because I do know they're here. I've got as good a chance here as I do anywhere, so fingers crossed. There's a couple of really promising pools just down around that corner as well. So I'm just about to head round and fish a spot where I had a follow from a salmon about a week ago, so I'm really excited about that. But first, I just wanted to talk to you a little about the uses that you might want this rod for. So the first obvious thing would be taking it on holiday. Never before has it been so easy to take one thing on holiday with you and have so many different options of ways you can fish and species you can fish for when you're over there. But more sort of commonly, leave it in the boot of your car. How easy is it going to be to just leave that in your car? You won't even notice it's there, and it's always going to be ready for when you need it as well, because it's so compact. Hiking, camping, cycling, boating, pretty much anything. Taking it on public transport, a compact multi-piece rod isn't just for taking on holiday. I'm really sort of keen on the idea that with fishing you don't have to have 10 different rods for 10 different things that cost you 200 quid a pop. Although the traditional tackle industry will probably want you to believe that. No, it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, specialist gear has always got its place, but if you're just getting started, or you're a beginner, or you're young, this way it just makes it more accessible and more affordable and an overall more approachable way to get into fishing. Right, here we go. This is my favourite spot on the whole river. I've had a really stunning trout before and a big salmon right here. So let's see if we can replicate that today. I know you're only watching me do one of the many kinds of fishing available to you with this rod, so if you do want to see it in some other contexts, then subscribe to the channel, because I'm really going to be putting it through its paces over the next couple of months. Pike mostly, perch, maybe a bit of sea fishing. Well, unfortunately no salmon today, so what I'm going to do is what every honourable fisherman does: blame it on the conditions. This low clear water isn't ideal. It's not impossible, but it's not ideal for salmon. So I'm going to wait for the perfect time, and I'm going to come back, and hopefully that's when we're going to get our big one. Hopefully next time you see me we'll get some fish in that net and I'll catch you down the road.